You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, in case you didn't notice, over the weekend, things did not go very well against the Chargers. For the Raiders, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's out with a concussion. I think there's some interesting theories, I don't know. People kind of turned an interesting eye towards exactly when did he suffer the concussion. Nobody really knows, but he missed the game nonetheless. And there has now been a statement come out about his status as the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback. Aiden O'Connell, who I think actually is a very good draft pick from the Raiders. The kid looked really good. Sean Payton was real high on Aiden O'Connell. I think the Broncos would have grabbed him had the Raiders not swooped in and grabbed him. I think the Broncos had real eyes on him as a potential eventual replacement for Russell Wilson. So now there's lately, in true Raiders fashion, things have been a dumpster fire. They hired Josh McDaniels. Fan base is livid about that. A lot of people in the fan base didn't like the hire. I thought it was a good hire because I thought this surely has to work. Really good offensive mind, no doubt. But you have to wonder, the way things have gone, if Josh McDaniels is not going to go down in history much the same way as former legendary Dallas Cowboy offensive coordinator Norv Turner. Norv Turner was one of the best offensive minds that the National Football League has ever seen. He also was not a very good head coach, and he got multiple opportunities too. Some guys just better at being on one side of the ball and not having to manage and CEO everything. Raiders fans are pissed, and they let Mark Davis know it, and Mark Davis went viral because he slammed the fans back on video. And I will show you guys that video now just very quickly as we're looking through sort of the week that was. Never mind the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was out. You had Chandler Jones, who came out and made these wild comments as he had a breakdown on video. We all seen it very publicly, and he said Jones made several disturbing statements about members of the NFL, including Raiders coach Josh McDaniels and team owner Mark Davis. He also had an exchange with a neighbor. In the final minutes of this stream, he had this live stream where he had this total breakdown, was crying. He got arrested. The Raiders have since released him. A lot of craziness. Just a lot of chaos. Jones breaks down in tears, insinuating that McDaniels had something to do with Aaron Hernandez's death. That's where we are. Last week I did a video, Davante Adams slammed the Raiders culture. And now there's real fire around the idea that Davante Adams, their best offensive weapon, may end up getting shipped out of town. No doubt. He's a top 5 receiver in the league. If I am the New England Patriots, and I got a video coming up, it may or may not be out by the time this video comes out, about the lack of weapons in New England. If I'm the Patriots, if I'm the New York Giants, I'm on the horn and I'm giving the Raiders whatever they want for Davante Adams. And then I'm getting him in-house, and I'm keeping him in-house for a good couple of seasons at least. They need weapons, and he's one of the best in the league, Mac Jones. And that Patriot fan base have been clamoring for a offensive weapon for any of their quarterbacks. And then, of course, and this was strange, but Andrew Siciliano came out yesterday and says Jimmy Garoppolo is still in concussion protocol. He's still the Raiders quarterback when healthy, per Josh McDaniels. Why are you even issuing that statement? Did anybody think, Packers Home called it out? Why wouldn't he be? Question mark. It's sort of a strange proclamation coming out from the coach of the Raiders. So as you can see, there's just a lot of damn chaos. Well, fans are pissed, and look, fans are short for fanatics. And let's be real, the Raiders fan base, one of the best fan bases in all of the National Football League. They're very passionate about their team. And I don't know if people understand the national brand that the Raiders really are, but I live in rural Texas. I know two people personally, their favorite team is the Raiders. They live and breathe and die with the Raiders right here in the middle of Dallas Cowboys country. I mean, they are true, a lot like the Steelers, a lot like the Patriots, a lot like the Niners, the Packers, and the Cowboys. They are a national brand. Now, the dirty little secret around the league is the league would love somebody else to own this franchise. The league is not big on Mark Davis at all. Okay, so at SoFi Stadium this past weekend, some Raiders fans let Mark Davis have it. And Mark Davis let him have it back. I mean, there's a little fire in that bowl haircut that reminds me of Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. I don't know who your barber is, but nah, it ain't working. But he fired back. Let's look at the video. Okay, so in case you did not hear exactly what he said back to those fans, because they're calling for Josh McDaniels' job right there. He said, "Smarten up," and pointed at his dome at that Jim Carrey haircut. Boom, pointed at his dome as Mark Davis got some babes in the, I don't know if he's kin to those women or what, but Mark Davis, question mark, with the babes in the okay. I didn't see that coming, but you got money. All right, gotcha, Playboy. But the point is, he fired back at the Raiders fans, told them to smarten up when it comes to the idea of hiring Josh McDaniels. Now, in case you didn't know, look, the Raiders weren't alone on McDaniels. All right, we got to remember he had a deal in place to be the Colts coach. And had Kyle Shanahan not taken the 49ers job, I don't know if anybody remembers this, the Niners were hiring Josh McDaniels. He was the other guy. It came down to Kyle Shanahan and Josh McDaniels. And Shanahan took the job. It seems to have worked out so far. Shanahan's got to get a ring. He's got to get a ring, or this didn't work out. I'm a Niners fan. We need titles. Okay, we need titles. But so far, so good. I love the fact that we're always competitive, at least when we got quarterbacks that are healthy. Looking at you, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch. But that's neither here nor there. You get the point. It's very interesting that Mark Davis actually acknowledged the fan base and did so in that manner, pointing at his head, going, "Smarten up." He just called his own fan base a bunch of idiots. Wow. I mean, look, Mark Davis, fans are passionate, and they say things, especially when they got some booze in them, at the National Football League games. Has anybody seen the fight from that game between the Chargers fan and the Raiders fan? I mean, yikes. A lot of fights out there. Guys are drinking. Guys are getting liquored up at these games. And, I mean, who the hell puts you in that box right there at SoFi Stadium so easily accessible to a passionate fan base? I don't know. That's an interesting way to go, because if some fan really had wanted to, he could have crawled over that and got to Mark Davis, no doubt. Now, I talked earlier about the fact that the league would love to see, they'd love to see Mark Davis go, okay? He is not a guy that is what you would consider sort of naturally wealthy. What I mean by that is Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, Stan Kroenke, they're different levels of wealthy, okay? Certain industry, got billions of dollars, yada, yada, yada. Mark Davis has not just got a ton of cash, okay? And I think it is one of the reasons, and I've had a theory, it's one of the reasons why Mark Davis has got Tom Brady involved in that organization, and Brady will, and it hasn't went through as of yet. It has not went through, but he wanted Tom Brady to be involved in ownership with the Las Vegas Aces and the Las Vegas Raiders. And it is because he wanted an additional piece of credibility and star power to come to that organization because he's under fire. The NFL does not like Mark Davis. Why do they not like Mark Davis? Well, number one, he did not want to fire John Gruden. Well, hats off. You fought for your guy for a while, and you should have refused to fire him. And we all remember the video where he was outside the owners' meetings by himself, and he said, you go talk to them guys about John Gruden. He did not want to fire John Gruden. Well, that pissed the entire ownership bunch off, and he's sort of the guy that's off to the side. Roger Goodell and the NFL want to see a Jerry Jones kind of dude by the Raiders and have the Raiders. They got a great stadium. It was a great move going to Vegas. It really was. But that's very interesting that the fan base fires at Mark Davis and he fired back. I don't know how you feel about Josh McDaniels. So far, it has not worked. And I cannot figure out why it has not worked. And the offenses don't even look particularly good like they did in New England. I will give him credit. He's got one thing over Belichick right now, and that's the fact that he at least went out and got Davante Adams. He went out and got Jacoby Myers, who should still be with New England, whereas Belichick won't get anybody. Maybe he'll get Davante Adams. Maybe they work that out. I don't know. I know one thing. Patriots could use Jacoby Myers and Davante Adams right now. They've got nothing. That Patriots video is coming up. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.